Welcome, Leo. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, getting ready to do your first quarter, January, February, March reading for next year, 2025. This is a general reading. It will not resonate for all of you. If you're interested in a personal reading, information for that is in the description box below, where I'm featuring a half-off sale. I've made the sale prices clear. The holidays are upcoming. This might be an appropriate gift for some. It also is something that if you're interested in, I urge you to take advantage of this opportunity. I am grateful for you to be here and for all the ways that you support me. Let's get started with this first quarter reading. I'm pulling an overall energy, and I've pulled the Fool card. So for you, Leo, this feels like a very daunting opportunity for you. You recognize that you have a chance to move on a journey that does not require a destination, but instead requires absolute faith in who you are and what your ability to overcome any obstacles, to recognize opportunities, and to enjoy the journey that you're on. You have shed a lot, and the daunting part of this for the brave-hearted Leos among you, the courageous Leos, is this letting go of illusions from the past, experiences that demonstrated that you don't have to conform to the expectations of others. Others expect you to behave in a certain way, and you have, for much of your experience, conformed to that because you believed it would benefit you. But having had a few experiences where that dream, that fantasy, that illusion turned itself inside out and ended up dinging you in some really consequential way, you're now in a position of realizing that the work that you've done to really address your fears, to allow yourself to identify your own unique talents and passions, is really the place where you now have the courage to come out as. So this is really a beautiful stepping out onto a beautiful, light, joyful, pleasure-filled, but also courageous journey towards being who you actually are. Bringing your purpose, your mission, your vision into the world in your own unique way. I am going to pull a Soul's Journey card to get us started. And I would ask, along the way of this journey, of this reading, if you find that it resonates, please to like this video, to share it with others if it would be useful for another, and to subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot. And I've pulled Purpose. I know what I am here to do. I suggest that this is a newer revelation for you. You may have always known that, but it occurs to me that it is not evolving or developing in the way that you imagined it would. Your talent has always been there. It's always been resonant. Your gift is clear to others. Your ability to bring joy and light into the world is something you are well known for. But you're seeing this unfold in unexpected ways as you learn more about the world and the nature of the relationships that are the best match for you, that resonate with your goals. In January, we're in October still. In January, we have the Hierophant. And this is describing, I believe, an effort that you're making in the new year to learn something new, to develop yourself through training or education, a mentor program, finding a mentor, becoming a mentor. Any side of the learning spectrum is equally beneficial. Teachers learn from their students, and students naturally learn from their teachers. But it is a symbiotic relationship. One informs the other. And this is precisely the cycle that you're in right now. I think there is a more mature awareness of the value of training or education or certification or licensing. For some of you, a greater sense of the value of that. There's also perhaps an awareness of how much you have in helping others, training others, showing others the way, helping someone else or others who are trying to move in the direction that you are on. So this is that openness of the fool's journey that helps you to be humble in this experience, to gain that humility that may in the past may not have been as apparent to you. Leos are well known for their fierce pride, and there feels to me like you have learned some humility along the way through your own development. In February, we have the High Priestess. And the High Priestess is really as the result of this new information that you're gathering, that you're sharing with others, that you are learning as part of the team as an element of the learning experience, a sort of laboratory of interaction that occurs when you're in an environment where there are ideas that are being shared, discussed, and committed to implementing, trying out new ways. This is helping you to reflect more deeply on the role that you would like to play, the purpose you understand, but your role in that purpose is something you're still gaining insight into. And in fact, the experiences that you've had, perhaps throughout your past or in your recent past, have informed you uh, more about who you are, what you don't want. And this is part of the wisdom that you hold close to your heart. This is your intuition kicking in. So this becomes more of a guide to you than the expectations of others. In the past, for most of us, fulfilling, conforming to the expectations of others, our parents, our teachers, our bosses, whoever it is part of gaining love, gaining approval, being accepted. You're no longer valuing that in the same way that you are respecting your own experience and intuition. You're learning to tap into that 24/7, understanding that you are an authority, you are wise. No one knows your needs and desires like you do. And in order to achieve that position in your life that you respect, you are moving forward with this greater sense of awareness and sensitivity about who you are and where you're going. And in March, we have the Hermit card. This feels as though you are, again, as a result of the openness to learning new things, to examining what you believed was important in the past and what is now developing within you, what is unfolding, this sense of self that is blossoming. You are now confident in looking within for the answers that you seek. You are less and less inclined to, it's not that you're discounting the authorities or your bosses, supervisors, or partners. It isn't that you're ignoring their opinions or their instructions, but you balance that with a sense of what you know to be best for you. And you're right to do things in the way that you feel is best for you. So this is a delicate balance. This is something that can be a deal breaker at a job, in a relationship, in any form of expression that you take, having to weigh what is required of you and what you believe is a more authentic and just expression of your vision, of your experience, of the way in which you are implementing what you understand your responsibilities to be. So this is a huge change and quite a learning curve that you're experiencing at this time. I'm going to clarify the Hierophant with the Hanged Man, the Hanged One, I should say, and the Page of Swords. And I like this. The Page of Swords is showing me that you are learning, and this is the result of a lot of maturity and a lot of uh, exposure to not only the world, what the world wants or expects from you, but this burgeoning sense of, I know what I know about myself and the world, and I also know when I don't know. And there's an admission here at the beginning of the year that you're not sure of your next steps. What's the best way to go forward? And that is the perfect, can be the appropriate approach to being open to learning something new. After all, that's why we seek education. That's why we seek information. That's why we debate, discuss, share ideas among a team or other students, other classmates, or other co-workers or colleagues, is to air out our ideas, to allow ourselves to test the information that we're gaining. So this is really an openness where you are studious in your approach to gaining this information. You're taking the notes, you're observing others, you're looking at others who may be more experienced, more knowledgeable than you, and you're taking note of all of that. You're somehow recording that. You're a good note taker. The Hanged One is, again, acknowledging this desire to gain in your perspective, recognizing that the way that you have looked at your life, your actions, your experiences, and the experiences of others is no longer a fit for your vision. So you are actively seeking ways of gaining a greater perspective, being able to take in more information, more context around the things that you're learning so that your world is expanding, you are growing. And that, in fact, obviously is the goal of the training, the education that you may be actively pursuing in January. In February, I'm clarifying the High Priestess with the World card and the Six of Pentacles. I'm going to take on the World. This is you closing out a journey, closing out an experience. When we look at the Fool's journey that is characterizing the first quarter of next year, we are looking at a fresh space to move out into, a clean slate. And here you are wrapping up, completing, closing down an experience. This can be in a relationship, this can be at a work, this can be a location where you have formerly been felt very secure. All of that, the completion of that is a preparation for this new journey that you're undertaking, understanding that what you've learned, all that you've learned, has helped you to step into this new level, to understand that rather than being assigned a role, a series of do's and don'ts, of achievements, and a strategy of success, that you, in fact, are limitless. And you are have the courage. This is where the Fool's journey is so beautiful, because you have the courage to simply set on the path of who you are, what you know, what gifts you have to share, in order to move towards an unknown destination. You don't know where this is going to end. You do know that it, like you, is limitless. There's no ceiling here where you're going, and you've been well prepared. You've improved your skills. You've improved your knowledge of relationships, which has been a big part of your focus on this journey, so that all exchanges of energy, you now understand, must be agreements, mutual agreements that reflect a reciprocal exchange, a clarity of what is being given and what will be received in exchange, a balance. This is about equity, not about equality. This is about moving from a place of strength, sharing who you are as a whole person with others to achieve something. And this is a much more inclusive way of understanding the possibilities in your world. Your relationships are reflecting the sense of understanding your responsibility, not only to others, but to yourself. And for those of you that are caretakers or providers or have a tendency to overgive, to be excited at the beginning of something, overly excited before you even know what it is you're getting into. This is a protection against you overgiving to a place where you become resentful, you become tired, you become angry that others aren't doing their part to the degree that you're doing your part. No longer accepting a situation in which it is implicit that you do all the work and others sit back and enjoy your work, not making the commitment to your goals in the way that you are. In the month of March, the Hermit is clarified by the Seven of Swords and the Ten of Wands. It isn't as though this release of old burdens, false responsibilities, old obligations that really have not served you. They may have served others, and it isn't as though you haven't gained anything, but you realize that this system that others have compelled you to want to conform, to want to please, to want to support, to participate in, was not designed for your benefit. Somehow you're left out of the equation when all is said and done. So this is reinforcing the idea that you are making a transition, that you are moving into a place where you don't have to figure out what your part is or what your role is according to someone else. This is where you've already internalized your obligations and responsibilities to do the job that needs to be done. And to that end, you are no longer accepting the dismissal, the discredit, the unkind words, the unfair criticism, being laughed at, not being taken seriously by others. Instead, you no longer internalize that. You no longer check yourself with anxiety and insecurity because somebody didn't like something you did in good faith. Here, that no longer blocks you. Others are always going to say things about what you have done. This is a price, this is a consequence of being successful, of putting yourself out there. It's the risk you take. Yes, others will not like it. They will not like you for their own reasons, but their lack of support is a reflection of their fears and their limitations, not yours. And now that you are understanding that, you're picking your battles. You understand, yeah, this is just a feature. This is part of the deal. If I want something, if I'm putting myself out there, there's going to be blowback. There's going to be resistance. But that's just part of it. And if I can't get support where I need it, if I can't get agreement where I expect it, then I'll go elsewhere to get it. But it no longer stops you from moving in the direction you want to move. I'm going to finish up this reading, Leo, with a flora and fauna of Africa, which I haven't used in a while, and ask if this reading is resonating for you. Again, to please like this video and share it with others. Subscribe to Pacific Tarot as well. And thank you in advance. And I pulled the adorable lemur card, and the key word is friendship. Tap into your charming and cunning nature. Set out on an adventure that stimulates your senses. Thank you so much, Leo, for this reading. Until next time, namaste.